All right, it is time now for MVP picks presented by Visa, a network working for everybody. We will get to our sleepers for the week. We each have a pair. Who's your first one?
For me, it's Zach Moss.
Yep.
Zach Moss is a player that was on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues just a few days ago, and we thought Devin Singletary was finally the starter. We were making jokes, Marcus, does he no longer need 3 forms of ID to find the end zone? And then Zach Moss comes out, has more snaps, has more carries, has more targets, and looks really good doing so. 13 carries for 60 yards, caught all 3 of his targets for 31 yards and a TD. I think it's hard to say that either one of these Bills running backs is a running back that you could start with confidence. But right now in a great matchup against Houston, I wouldn't be surprised if down the stretch, like in the fourth quarter, if we're just seeing a lot of one of these Bills running backs run out the clock. And in week 2, that was Zach Moss that the Bills used for that. So I think Moss is a sleeper this week.
You know, I think a big thing, and it's this play right here. You see a little dump-off pass for Zach Moss. He scores a touchdown. In the past, I feel like Josh Allen would have taken that himself. So if this is what's going to happen, I think there's more for Zach Moss there. I'm going to go with the Bengals defense, though, as my first sleeper. They've got the Jaguars, as we mentioned, on Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. And the Jags offense has been a mess so far this season. Trevor Lawrence tied for the league lead in interceptions with 7. He's generally running for his life. They're not going to just suddenly get better over the next couple of days. Not to mention the fact that the Bengals made life hard on the Steelers. Yes, some of it is that Ben Roethlisberger is not the player that he once was, but some of it is just that the Bengals defense actually is something that you can't trifle with anymore. So I feel like that's a good opportunity. If you're streaming defenses, this is a good streaming spot here.
Yeah, stream against rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
I've been wrong about Trevor Lawrence to start the year as well. He's been playing pretty rough.
Your next sleeper, who you got?
I'm going with Michael Carter here, another rookie. Look, last week they got shut out in Denver, but Carter did see his snaps increase. Tevin Coleman was inactive, and then he led the Jets with 9 carries. Ty Johnson only had 3. Michael Carter also had 3 targets. I don't love that Ty Johnson had 5 of them, but he only caught 1 target for 6 yards. So I think Michael Carter has looked like the better pass catcher there as well. And we're 3 weeks into the season, but it's kind of evident that the Jets aren't playing for this year. They're looking to build long term. Ty Johnson is a journeyman. Tevin Coleman's towards the end of his career. At some point, they're going to start just letting Michael Carter set him loose and just giving him more and more work. We're already seeing it slowly but surely. So I think Carter is a sleeper option this week. Look, over 10 touches in 2 straight games. If you're getting a little bit deeper for a flex option, that's pretty good usage right there.
I do think at some point they're going to turn this thing over to Michael Carter. We thought that last year, too, when they had some young running backs, and they still kept running like Frank Gore and stuff. And it just didn't. I love Frank Gore, but it just didn't make sense. My other one, and I mentioned him a little bit earlier, Pat Freiermuth for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I know this offense has turned pretty much everybody into a tight end. So if that's the case, why not use the actual tight end? He's not getting a ton of targets, but when you're streaming tight ends, if you're needing help at that position, you don't necessarily expect a ton of targets, but you do expect some down near the end zone. And I think you're going to see that with Freiermuth if the Steelers can move the football, which I think they should be able to. I think there's going to be some opportunities there. And I know, yes, rookie tight ends, they don't usually do a whole lot. But if you're just talking about a one-game proposition, there's an opportunity for Freiermuth to make some plays. So, I think, like I said, if you're streaming tight ends or if you're just in a league where there isn't a lot on the waiver wire, Freiermuth is probably there for you, and I think is worth a stream this week.
I like that call. He actually out-targeted Eric Ebron last week, and if the preseason and early season has been any indication, is they like this guy in the red zone. So I think that usage at least could continue moving forward.
That's all you really want. If you're streaming tight ends, you just want like a touchdown. Just a couple catches and a touchdown, and you should be okay with your tight end spot. If you want more sleepers, you can check out my weekly sleepers column at NFL.com/sleepers. I put it out if you're really a student on top of it. It actually comes out on Tuesday night, but for the rest of you, you can check it out every single Wednesday.